Ladies and gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Being Trans. My name is Amanda Bonanza. Next to me is Lilith Electra, and below us there is the lovely and talented Emily Kalen. Thank you very much. How is everybody today?
I am good.
Oh, that's great news. Emily, how are you doing?
Good to hear. My brain is broken. I am all stress. I am leaving the country in 4 days, and there is a lot to still do. I am very unprepared. I had some friends over last night helping me pack. We got my suitcases most of the way there, but suitcases and then one of the boxes we're going to be packing away in the garage done. So there's probably another 8 to 10 boxes to do. There's a lot to do. And so this week I've been doing things like I sold my drum kit, got a decent price for it. Was not expecting that to be such a tearjerker.
Yeah.
That was tough.
When I moved from Seattle down here to California, I had to get rid of I tried to sell like pretty much everything I had, and my music equipment was the hardest thing to part with. And like I did end up selling my guitar, which was like the guitar I'd had since like 2005, and like it was my guitar. Like it was my guitar. That was what I used for everything, and I loved it so much. And I parted with it, and like at the very least the guy that got it deserved it. Like, and that made me happy because like I couldn't bear with it otherwise.
Well, that's what happened for me too. Is the drum kit went to a really good close friend, so that's great. I got a decent price for it for the shape it was in. So I think I did okay there. But like, again, I've had that drum kit for 20, 22 years, and we've had a rocky past. I haven't been able to play it as much as I would like to, but yeah. So it's just things like that. I had my going away party on Thursday. A ton of people showed up. We had probably like 50 or 60 people there, coming in and going out, and most people stayed the whole night, which was wild because I did it from 5 to 10, and so like we had a pretty full place for at least 3 of those hours. And that was just great. Difficult, so difficult to touch all the tables, make sure you're having conversations with people,
Yeah.
answering the questions. I needed a PA to stand up there and like ask like all of the general questions in one fell swoop. But it was such an amazing night. And one of my oldest friends, who I've again known for over 20 years, showed up. And after the divorce and transitioning, our relationship, like, I don't know, it was just one of the ones where I was sort of, we were so close as like guys that it just sort of felt awkward to me, and I kind of dropped off communication. I don't know if y'all have sort of noticed that in your transition, like especially early on, things get a little weird, and so you just you kind of step back, and you feel awkward talking to people. And then I get this thing where if like I haven't talked to you in a while, like it's really awkward for me to just say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I'm sorry I haven't talked to you in 6 years. But so it was amazing to see him. He left at the end of the night, and I think by that point I was just cried out. I didn't have any more tears left in me. I was very sad. My eyes wanted to cry, but they could not because I'd done it throughout the night. But
I mean, I was there. I was at the party, and it was I knew it was going to be like that, especially for you, that you were going to be spread so thin, and that you were, I mean, you essentially just had to kiss babies all night. It's just you're a politician. Like
yeah, shaking
it's like
hands,
I have
kissing
to
babies.
see. Yeah, I love you. Oh, thanks for coming. Blah blah blah. Yeah, tell me all about. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta go. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like I've done it before. Like it's a thing for sure. And yeah, that thing about like the awkwardness of like people in that first year of transition, like friends that you've had for a long time. I didn't have too much of that. Like surprisingly, like it was most of my friends were like super awesome, and I didn't have any real weirdness at all. There
Mhm.
was a little bit from like one friend. It did kind of like hamper things, and like I don't really talk to him much anymore, and
Mhm.
I'm not like regretful about it. Like it's kind of a shame it worked out that way. But it is one of those things that like I don't hold anything against him. I don't think he hasn't been weird to me lately. And it's like I think it was just like it was a lot. It's I think the thing that we as trans people take for granted is like we're going through it. And
Mm.
so like it's so all encompassing and it's so gigantic and gargantuan that like we forget that it's a huge deal for everyone else too. I was at the center of my own universe and like it was I couldn't get outside of that box because it was just all too crazy. I didn't take into account that like okay, here's someone that I've known for 20 years that like didn't see this coming and like now he's got to deal with this. It's just like, oh shit, I didn't
Yeah.
take that into account. I was still in a transition, but like now that I'm through the hard part, through that chaos, that's that first year, I can look back and be like, oh, I wish I'd have handled that with a little more grace and patience.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before, and how we grow up with all of this conflict and confusion within ourselves, and those of us that come out later in life, which is the situation we're talking about now, we have fought with this so long that when we figure it out, there's sort of like this internal explosion of like, this needs to come out now. I need to finally be myself and be this. And so because of that, the timeline is just so compressed then for talking to people, for understanding what's going on, for understanding where you're going. Those conversations are so difficult because you have to have them then because you're coming out and you're going to be dressing differently, you're going to be doing some different behaviors, but you don't have any of the answers yet. It's too new. And then you're, like you said, you're all in your own head and you're worried about things. You're worried about what people will think and all this. And so your perspective on what everybody else is thinking, what they're going through is really skewed, if sort of non-existent, basically. You lose all empathy for what your friends and family are going through. And so it's one of those things you come back to later and you're like, I'm so glad you're still with me because I don't feel like I was an amazing friend for the last
Yeah, I put you
5
down the
years.
mill there.
And yet I told him it was great to see you, and I wish we'd had more time because I'm my best version right now. As far as Emily, this
Yeah,
is
you're
this is pretty
great.
close to peak. So, this is the version of Emily to know. The other thing that's been happening, and I know
There's
it
some
looks
more.
like I'm really unprepared, and I should have been packing sooner and stuff instead of saving it to the last 4 days. But I got talked into going and visiting my family in Texas, of all places.
Yeah.
And as much as we've talked
Nice.
about getting the hell out of here and getting to a safe place, the irony of going to one of the worst places in the country right before I get out is not at all lost on me. I went Friday through Monday. I mean, Monday of this week.
Yeah.
And it was a very last minute trip. Thank God it wasn't horribly expensive. But yeah, I went to the heart of Texas, and my concern was, like needing to use the restroom on my way out in Dallas, and then definitely coming through security and having to use it there in Dallas because I'm like, well, once I make it through security, then I'm potentially flagged. So I made sure to use the restroom before I went anywhere. I just went straight in, straight to the bathroom, and then I went through security and all that. So I guess that's my safety tip.
That you even have to think about that shit. It sucks so bad. Like it's like I don't know what to do. Like you can't use the fucking bathroom. Like that's so fucking shitty. It's like and my instinct to that is like fine, then I'll piss all over the fucking floor. Like that's my instinct. You don't
You
want me
want
to
to
use
treat
the
me like an
bathroom? Here
animal?
you go.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll be one. Yeah. Exactly. But like yeah, that doesn't that doesn't pay great dividends either. It's one of those. It's like video games. Like okay, you play like the video games that are like immersive, that are like the sandbox immersive games. Where you have the hardcore mode where you have to eat food and like you have to drink water and like you have to make sure you if you get sick you have to take medicine. Like DayZ is a big one where it's super immersive and intricate. But like I don't know why going to the bathroom is never a thing in those games, and the mechanic should be that like the hunger, like the more you ignore it, like the worse your stats get. If it gets down to zero, you just your pants and your
Wait, are you telling
charisma
me?
permanently
Are you
drops to
telling me you've
nothing.
never? Are you telling me you've never locked 40 Sims in a house and then just removed the toilet? Is that what you're telling us?
I never played The Sims.
I never did either, because once I made 40 of them pee in pee in the living room, where was I going to go from there? There's no place to go. I'm done. I've done everything there is to do in The Sims.
Oh my god. Oh, it broke me. Oh my god. So Alexis says that Texas doesn't have a bathroom bill yet, and they haven't had any problems, and that's wonderful. I love that. I didn't really have any problems either. The thing that need to remember is I apparently have reached this point of passing privilege, and so I don't take that lightly. The problem with the airport is the airport's a federal building,
Yeah.
and federally it is illegal. So I wasn't really afraid most other places, but um. Then
That's
of
why I'm
course,
terrified of it. And like, it's like I'm thinking of like, like basically once I get like enough establishment to like actually like start making the steps to like leaving, I'm gonna want to like actually fly to the country I'm planning on going to and like checking it out because I don't want to just go there cold because I've never been there. But
yeah.
like then I thought about it and it's like then I have to worry about like getting back into the country. And like that's a terrifying concept. It's like maybe I do want to go there cold. Like, because like I feel like if I leave this country, like coming back and trying to go through customs, like is just such a bad idea. Like it's
Mhm.
just so bad. Like and I'm starting to rethink that strategy because I really think that's it. It's like I thought about that yesterday when I was with my friend at work because we had planned on going to Mexico. Like, and then I thought about it. It's like, wait, I'm trans and she's was born in Mexico. Like, neither of us should be going through customs. Like, neither of us should be dealing with border patrol. Like, there's a real that seems like a really dicey move. Like, and so I was like, I can't do that. I can't go to Mexico. I just can't go. Like, because I think if I leave the country, like that's it. I just shouldn't come back ever. And that's a crazy thing to have to think about and to worry about.
Yeah. And Lilith is someone who has gone through that. But you kind of got out before the biggest piles of hit the fan. How did you feel on your way to El Salvador?
You're not supposed to tell them. It's generic Latin American country. No.
Oh, sorry.
It's funny. We had talked about it, and like, because we had purchased a home in Detroit last April, and I felt kind of stupid. It's like, because first of all, I still own that house. I'm trying to sell it. If you want to buy a house in Detroit, hit us up. It was kind of a thing where it was just like, this is a push to doing something I should have done a long time ago anyway. I have, my family and I have friends. No one threw me a going away party. no one's reached out. It's fine. I don't care. The people that I want to be close to, I stay close to. I feel like, well, first of all, I spent 10 15 years in comedy, and the first thing you learn is you don't really have friends. You just have people who suck up to you so they can get what they want. They want to be on a show.
That's some fucking pessimistic Gen X shit.
Holy
It
darkness,
literally,
Batman.
I had no connection there, and we had always talked about like wanting to, why am I doing this? And when I told people I was leaving, I have people I know on Facebook who are also trans, like, you got to stay and fight. And I often thought, I'm like, what am I fighting for? Like, oh, I won. Now I get to keep this shitty job that I have to have because of health insurance. And, I've been here, 3 months and 12 days. I've got my first coaching client. I'm coming up on the halfway part of writing my first novel. I'm starting to reach out, and I've got an editor looking at what I've got so far. And this is kind of like pushed me where I need to go, like live the life I want. No, they always joke like, no one wants to work anymore. It's like, yeah, no one wants to work anymore. No one wants to work under these conditions. No one wants to live under these conditions. And instead of saying like, I'm running for that, it's like, you know what, I'm making a choice to live the life I want on my terms, and here I am. I don't know if y'all, anyone is fans of The Wire, but there was a quote in there one of the people drops, like, you cannot lose the game if you do not play the game.
Mhm.
And I'm done playing America's game. I like y'all can have it. And maybe, hey, maybe they'll get mad enough that they'll figure it out or they'll do something. And Amanda and I have talked about this. If I thought we were close to that, then I wouldn't have left. If I thought America was ready to call a general strike and force the hands of the oligarchs, I would have stayed for that. But they're not. They're not.
No, nothing's ever gonna happen here.
Every time the oligarchy drops another load of on the peasants, 40% of the peasants come up with reasons why the that just landed on them is good for them, and why this is the way it should be. When I coach people, it's like, if you're looking for a coach who wants to, and you need someone to help you make a high performing team and blah, 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 I'm not about that. If you want to start fires and live life on your term, I will help you start fires and go do what you want to do. But I'm not going to sit here and help you be a better middle manager, because human beings aren't meant to be middle managers. Middle management is stupid. Everything above middle management is stupid. Everything below middle management is stupid. You should be doing your own thing and figuring out what you want out of your life and making it happen. Thank you for letting me have that commercial.
Yeah, that was delightful. Yes, join Lowe's coaching team. Do we have anything else going today?
Yeah, drop me an email if you want to hire a coach and learn how to start fires.
This has been Lilith Coaches You Out of Capitalism.
Real tough work you got.
I mean, honestly, no. I mean, honestly, how many times you talk to someone and they tell you they don't want to do something and they hate this and they do that, and then a month later they're still at the same job doing the same thing. It's like, figure a way out of it. Luckily enough, I had saved enough money, but I have no retirement. I didn't have much in my retirement, but I emptied it out to do this. I could not make money for maybe a year, and then I'm going to be in serious trouble, but I trust that I'll do it. And history has told me that if I need to do something, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, same thing. That's kind of how it works. It's been how I lived my whole life, is I just like jump to the most comfortable lily pad I can find and stay there till it starts sinking, and then I jump to the next one. Like, it's just like, and it's worked for me up to this point, but I have found that like the older I get, the fewer those lily pads seem to be, and the more fog there is in the jump. And like, and I don't know that if it's just getting older, but it's everything, because it's like, it's no, I'm in the wrong pond. Better pond. Like, this place is full of predators trying to eat me, and I need to get the out of here. Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this. Nothing surprises us at all about what's going on in the administration, right? But it was still really disgusting to see the video about, when Trump did his pullback on the tariffs, and all of his insider friends knew that he was going to do it. So they all made, there were people, friends of his that he has in the Oval Office bragging that they made, billions of dollars yesterday.
Yeah, it was a huge Ponzi scheme. Like, yeah, it was clearly that. It was total illegal market manipulation. Like, that's all he does. That's all he cares about. He cares about money and fame. That's it.
I kind of tell it as a joke, but it's like, honestly, if you want to know why, like, corporatists and Republicans and religious people are against trans people, it's like, well, if these people, trans people who have the entire world against them, can make decisions for their own life and find their own happiness and do these things, why am I fucking working at Walmart? I mean, that's the thing, is like, if it became normal to see everyone living to their maximum happiness and making choices for themselves regardless of what society thinks, who would fucking work at Walmart? Who would keep a backbreaking job? Maybe, and obviously, maybe there's someone who just loves working at Walmart. If that's your passion, I'm not demeaning your passion. Fucking ring people out every Saturday. Good on you. But for the most part, yeah, like, trans people are the end of ordered society, because why would anyone do stuff they hate if these people, against all odds, if we can do whatever we want and still enjoy happy lives?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why they're trying to stop it, because who's going to work at Walmart?
Trans people equals the establishment. That's what we are, because we break all the rules.
Look at how shitty my lipstick is just put on. That's driving some conservative out there crazy. Like, you can't put your lipstick on like that. What are you doing? And I'm just like,
it's illegal.
I do what I want. I do what I want. Look at that. I missed right there.
They don't in the United States without a birth certificate.
Yeah, they're like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, you have to show us your
You have to
genitals to get your
drop
nails.
trow in the
Oh my
drugstore.
god, they don't let me do my nails anymore.
Anybody hear anything of April 5th? Did, was there anything that you heard about that? Any outcome?
What? April
Any
5th? What the fuck was that?
That's like the 5th of November, but lamer.
Oh, like people were supposed to do stuff or right? No, nothing. No one rose up. Nothing got better.
I didn't
No
think so.
one
I
did
I was away for
anything.
that, so
Nothing
that was fun.
changed except for everything got worse as it does every day.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
no,
a
there's
feeling
no thing.
I suspected it for the most part would be a Occupy Wall Street sort of thing,
There
but
were protests and there were a lot of people in the streets, and it accomplished exactly nothing, as
mhm.
all protests do.
Which
Like
is
it,
which is
yeah,
why it was allowed to happen, and
yeah,
supposedly it's happening again later this month. But man, they sure shut down that Occupy Wall Street stuff, didn't they?
yeah.
They sure
Did
really
It's
got rid of
a
that.
wild success. Everything's fine now.
I thought I'd heard that sometimes the people protesting and showing that as actually what gives politicians backbones to actually fight for something. When Gavin Newsom is already bending over backwards to turn against trans people to curry favor, I just like you said, I don't
I
see
like
anything coming of
I
it.
like the idea of a politician having that as like their commercial. It's like, if you elect me, I will grow a backbone once you stand up for what's right. Like
If you elect me and then
Well,
if
like
you
that.
tell me what's right, I will stand up for it because I'm a person of someone else's convictions.
I don't think that narrative was ever real. I think that that whole like nonviolent protest is like the path. That was a narrative that was like it was one that came out of, it was born of the civil rights movement in the 60s, and like it was used as like Martin Luther King and Gandhi were the two examples that were used. But
Mhm.
like what people fail to realize is one, Martin Luther King was one small part of it. Like the real thing that did it was the fucking Black Panthers being armed with machine guns and patrolling their neighborhoods in Chicago. That had a lot more to do with like the civil rights shit getting passed than Martin Luther King's speech. Not to discredit Martin Luther King, he did a lot of good things, but like there was a very violent thing going on at the same time, and that was the thing that actually got the thing done, as it always does. And then the misnomer with Gandhi is that like, oh well, in Gandhi it was nonviolent, but like you have to understand it was two things that worked in the favor of that. One was like he and the people that followed him were such religious zealots that they were willing to line up to die for their cause, and that's just simply not the case in the United States. And also, the other thing about that is he was dealing with the British at the very tail end of British colonialism, and the British were occupied with the Luftwaffe. Like they were getting bombed in Britain by the Nazis. If Gandhi had gone up against the Nazi war machine, like they would have been like, thank you very much. Stand over there, please. Like, because that's the thing, is that even the notion of nonviolent protest can only work if the people you're protesting at have any conscience or care. But if they don't, it's a complete waste of time. And
Mhm.
certainly the Republican Party and the conservative force and the Christo fascists in the United States do not care.